Fine. So, like to start with the data modeling concepts, actually, I have not put in slides on this thing because it is more of a theoretical concept of data modeling, but rather I'll show you in a graphical representation what exactly is the data modeling, and like in SAP GUI also I'll show you like how exactly it is represented. So basically, what do you mean by data modeling? So data modeling is basically a process of, diagramming the data flows, which has to be done before the application development. Okay. So any real world scenario, whatever you see, it will be represented in the data form. That is where we do the data modeling. So we will refer to this entity relationship model. We can use this data model as the basis for implementing appropriate table definition. Say, for example, whatever we will create in SE11, that is called as a transparent table. And we will show the relationship with each other in this ABAP dictionary. I'll show you that. So, let me show you one graphical representation here. So, suppose, for example, this is called as a relational data model. Okay, and basically flight data model or something. So what happens here is, right, there are few tables in SAP ABAP like SCARR, SFlight and all. So I'll show you those things. So what you see is it's an airline and airport, city, flight schedule, city airport assignment, flight customer, sales office, travel agency, and flight booking. So everything, so airline is dependent on this flight schedule. Airport, like how many flights will come to the airport at what time, that is also dependent on the flight schedule. And airport and city are like city airport assignment, like to for this city this airport will run. So that is dependent, like this two will be dependent on this one. Similarly, for flight customer, if we are the customer or sales officer, travel agency, everyone will be related to this flight booking. So this, close knit relationship between all these entities is called as like how we are representing it. It is called as the data modeling. Okay. So basically, if I go to this, SE80, say for example, I'll go to a table. I'm not sure if this. So this is one of the standard table if you see, okay, and it is related to this airline, okay. So now, if you want to see the let's go and see the object list, okay. So you can see that it belongs to this SAP BC data model. Okay. So this is a package and also it is a data. So they have actually all the flight related things are kept under this package to just show you the data modeling concept. Okay. And if you say, for example, if you go to this flight, right? And if you want to see the graphical representation of this particular flight, okay, so let me show you this. Okay, so can you see this? Like you have the plane details here, airline detail, flight schedule, and S flight, and the airline and the currency for the workbench. So this particular graphical representation, what I'm showing here, is related to this data modeling concept. Okay, so it's just a theoretical thing, like how many transparent tables, including what is their relationship with the other table, how it is dependent. That is what. So in real time, what happens is, whenever you try to, so there will be lot of assignments which will come to you, and basically, say for example, sales order. Here someone is from the sales background, right? So you would be knowing that we have this VBAK, sales order headed detail, sales order line item, and there will be scheduling line agreement as well, VBFA, the process flow, right? These all tables are interdependent, and like how they are dependent on each other, that also you are aware. Like for a particular sales order, how many line items will be there. So based on that, like similarly, this also is a kind of that. Okay. Am I clear on this data modeling thing?
So for this data modeling, before starting the actual coding, we have to do this graphical mapping.
No. It is like already in the system, it is there. So as I showed you, so I showed you one table, transparent table SAR, right? That is a airline
Yes.
related table. So the
Okay.
related table is a flight, S flight, okay? And these
Okay.
all, so S plane and S book and meals, like this is just think about from the real time data. So in an airplane, whenever you want to create a system in that, what all will be there? A flight will
Okay.
be there, an airport will be there, your customers will be there, travel agencies will be there, then there will be something related to like whatever meals you will be ordering inside a plane, then the plane will be there, ticket will be there. So if you see, these all the naming conventions are also self-explanatory
These
of
are all
this.
standard tables, is it?
Yes, these are all
Okay.
standard tables.
So,
I was just showing you the relationship model between these flight data.
so there can be instances where you have to do it on Z tables also, similar.
Yes, definitely,
Okay.
definitely. In G tables also, suppose sometimes what happens is you will not find all the fields, whatever is required. There will be some custom fields which needs to be created for your
Mm-hmm.
requirements. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, the functional will help you. So see, what happens is the functional will gather the requirement. He
Mm-hmm.
will give you the basic thing like I want this and these things from the particular table. If that table is not sufficing, right, a standard table is not sufficing your requirement, then you have to create a Z table. Mostly in during the customizations, right, we create the custom tables and we manipulate the data according to our requirement. We cannot change anything in the standard table. We should
Mm-hmm.
not modify anything in the standard table. Standard table is just for our reference. For any data retrieval or anything, we can use it, but for any
Uh,
custom manipulation we will have to use a custom table.
Assume these all fields would be required, and two more fields needs to be added, so that we cannot call. We need to create the entire table along with the two fields. You mean to say, or directly can we add those two things to the standard table?
No. See, unless there is a concept called as enhancement, okay,
Yes.
where they will say that like we need an enhancement on this particular or modification on this particular table where we need to add the two fields, then only you are allowed to add the two fields. Okay, unless
Okay.
there is nothing. So say for example, there will be a requirement where you will have all the fields but you want to add few more fields as well, like
Exactly.
tag or
Exactly.
anything like that. There is another way to do that. We need to create a custom structure in the program and we will have to use a internal table is a concept there where you will have to use and add few more fields into that. Or you can also create a Z table with the required fields, whatever you need for your requirement.
Okay.
Okay, we'll go deep into that, like how to do and all. So so this is all about the like data modeling. So the first, so we will cover these.
I have one more question here. So right now, whatever we have checked, right, that is related to aviation. So where our organization belonging to the chemical industry, what could be the standard tables which might be available for the chemical side? See, assume there might be a sales order and shipments kind of thing and everything. So what could be the standard tables we might be using with respect to our sectors as well?
See, like any chemical industry or anything, whatever it is, it all drills down to a material, right?
Correct. Correct.
So, say for example, you will have to create a raw material and all. So you must be aware of like these transaction codes like MM01, MM02, MM03, where you will create your material and all this respective things. And the master data table is this MARA. Okay,
Okay.
so Mara is for this material thing, general material data. Okay, similarly, so you have this thing as well, MVKE. So this one, so these things like, your functional sales data for the material. Okay. So this is all about the material thing. When you go for the sales order related, this will be like VBAK and VBAP, as I was telling, right? So say for example, you want to create a material, you want to create a sales order for that particular material, you will use this transparent table. Then say for example, you want to create a I think delivery, right? So delivery of that sales order. So that tables will be like I showed you VBAK, VBAP. So similarly, this is related to the delivery item data. Okay, LIPS and LIKP. Okay.
Could you
So
please give all these database table names later point
yeah,
of
yeah,
time?
definitely.
Okay.
See,
Okay.
these things like, eventually when you work in any project, right, slowly and eventually you will get to know the sales flow, the delivery, like, material master flow or model, SD, right? So there only you will get to know, and also I will also help you out. So similarly, if you want to create an invoice, right, once your material is done, raw material is used and a sales order is created and then a delivery happens, then your invoice will happen. So for invoice, it is like VBRK and VBRP. Okay. So this is the billing document line item. Okay. And item data, this is the header data, VBRK. Again, you will have other transaction codes as well for the creation of all these things. Like as I showed for material master, that is MM01 and all. Similarly, for sales order, you will have like this T code VA01, where you will create your particular order type. And for display, change and display, you can see here like VA02, VA03. And similarly for delivery, it will be like VL01N, like this. Okay. So if you see this here also, you can see the change and display 02N, 03N. And then after that, like if you want to create a invoice, it will be VF01. So it will be on reference to any sales order or a delivery document. You have to give here and give your billing type, and you have to create. Similarly for this one, like VF02 and VF03 is for change and display, something like that. Okay. So any process you pick it up some or the other way, wherever there is a service industry or anywhere, the material will be there, a raw material will be used, it will be manufactured, then a sales order will be created, quotation will be created, and after that, the schedule lines and all this stuff. So those things will come into picture. Okay, and these tables will be the general table which will be used. Did I answer your question correctly?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. So, like in this unit, we will learn all these concepts like,